If you are under the age of 18, the content of this video is not intended for you. Please stop watching now. Hey YouTube, it's Audrey, and I'm here with the second installment of the Crafter's Companion collab with Poetspice here on YouTube. There are a few of us that are demonstrating and making projects with Crafter's Companion products, which I love. And today is also craft day on HSN, so if you want to pick up some of these things that you're seeing today, some of them are probably available and might even be shown on the craft hours today. But I will have a list of those participants below who are playing along. And we do have a hashtag if you would like to do some video responses. And I'll have that listed below too. Keep in mind that you need to be watching all the videos from all the participants, liking them, subscribing to those, and making comments because there'll be giveaways along the way. You never know when. It could be on a certain video, could be in the end, but just make sure that each week you are doing those things. So today I am focusing on an aspect of Crafter's Companion with layering and layering inks and stamps. And so I used some of the Harmony Quick Dry inks today, and also I used the Harmony Reactive, water reactive inks too. These I will show you, you'll see what I used on, and then I used several other quick dry inks. And I just kind of want to take a second to focus on the quick dry inks and give you a little demonstration because these things are fabulous. I actually bought every color that they make in these. I bought the whole shebang simply because literally when you touch the ink to paper, it's dry. I mean, it's dry. So if I tap the ink to this paper, there is nothing on my finger. You see it dried right then and there. So that is why it is so great for doing the layering stamps that so many companies have out there. So just kind of wanted to, if you hadn't seen that, kind of mention that. And with all of Crafter's Companions ink sets, they come in the colors, they come in sets of 3. So there's a light, a medium, and a dark. And that's how a lot of their stamps are labeled 1, 2, 3, and their stencils 1, 2, 3, and you just follow along. And then they even make their own blending tools. So I even used a Crafter's Companion blending tool today. So for my first project, I used everything Crafter's Companion except for one thing. But my main thing one of the main focal points was this stamp that I recently got. A stamp and die set, actually. It can make ice cream cones or cupcakes. So it has the pieces and it shows you, the layerings of how you could do it. So as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3. So you use a light color, the medium color, and then a dark color. And then on this one, you have the extra of adding a different color of sprinkles. And so same thing with the cupcake liners and the cones. So love this, had to have it. Then I used the older Crafter's Companion Sheena Douglas metal dies, and this die is for these tags, and it is actually one of the multimedia ones, so it's a thicker die, can cut chipboard very easily. The one thing I did not use was this from Card Making Magic because I wanted a skinny oval. So I did use something other than Card Making or Crafter's Companion. And then I always like to show you a few other options. Here is another one that I have that is one of those stamp sets and you just follow along with the pluses, then they tell you how to do it. So it's the stamp for that and then the coordinating die. So my first project is a tag, and it is, you can see the embossing from that tag die, and that's one of the reasons why I like that, because it automatically has that pattern in there, kind of unique tag. I used the little oval, skinny oval, and then you could see here my cone, and it does with the shading and the stamping and layers and make it look dimensional. So I have a lemon ice cream cone here, and then one of the stamps in that set said, "You are so cool." I just added some bling to it, and then I will either use this in like an album or um, um, some kind of happy mail or something along those lines. So that is my first project. Then for the second project, I used many things. So I will show you. I use this layering stamp and die with florals. And I will tell you one thing about those quick dry inks. If you want your stamps to stay clear and clean them off every time, it's not going to happen with those. That's because they dry. You could get some of the ink off, but it's going to stain. You can see the pink here, and you can see the green cast on the leaves. So if you're one that has to have your stamps perfectly clear, then those inks are not for you. But this set is a traditional peony set, and again on the back it shows you 1, 2, 3, and you get that. So the die that came with that is here. And then I also used, along with that, this set, which actually came in with my Gemini machine, which is Crafter's Companion. Use it all the time. So I use this tag, and then I use this set of traditional words. And I used a couple words out of that. And then just to show you, there are other offerings of the layered flowers. There's a rose, and then there's a lily. And there are other ones too. A lot of them come in the collections that she does. So you can find quite the array. So this is my second tag. And I use Crafter's Companion Luxury Cardstock Glitter for the background glitter on the tag. I cut the tag out of the glitter paper rather. And I love that cardstock because it's so heavy and so, I mean, it's luscious. That's why they call it luxury cardstock, I guess. So then I have used the words for and you, which I cut out of the luxury cardstock in the fuchsia. And then I layered the peony in the fuchsia range. And then you see the leaves there. So that's my second project. And then my last one is where I use the watery active dye and the little blending tool. So I use stencils this time, and the stencils have the same layering idea as the stamps, except for you are using the blending tool in a stencil. So there's 1, 2, 3, and you get that. And so this one is called Carte Postal. And then some of the other ones in that range, there's this one, which is French Vine. There's this one, which is the postmark Paris. And then the Paris Skyline. And then the other thing that I used along with that is this die here, which is the Gemini's, it's a frame die. And this die comes in several sizes. This one is the 8-inch. I also have the 4-inch one and the 6-inch one. And there's also a 7-inch and a 9-inch one. And what I made with that is this. It is a 3-dimensional box frame. And it has the different cutout, 3 different cutouts patterns. So I use one of the patterns, and then I use the inks to get the beautiful stenciling, and I really enjoyed doing this. I've never done any of these layered things other than I've done layered flowers with dies, but I really hadn't done the stamps, and I had not at all touched those stencils. And so now I'm really glad that I have them. And so this, you can make a home decor piece, or with those stencils, because they are large, they are 8x8, you can do something along the lines of using it for a page in an album or on the cover of an album, or you can make home decor pieces. But I just really love the way this turned out. And then on the back, it is just covered with a piece of paper. And I used 110 pound cardstock to make it, so it's very sturdy. So those are my projects for this time, all about layering with inks. And they do have some layered dies for flowers and things. So not sure if I'm going to do those one of the Mondays or not. But they are available. So anyway, that's what I did for this week. And I hope you like what you see. I will be back again along with the other participants on next Monday. And remember, subscribe, like, comment.